I've never been high on Jay Gruden. I've never been that low. I'm just kind of lukewarm. He's a C. It's what he is. I think he's a good play caller.
I think he's shown himself this year. I think this might be one of his better years because you're seeing more directly involved in the game planning, in the play calling, and I think you're seeing. I'm not seeing a drop off from Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan.
I didn't expect any drop off.
A lot of people did.
A lot of people did. I didn't expect a drop off. I think he's a great play caller, but he's the head coach and he's responsible for the defense.
Well, you know what? The head coach just pulled off one of the best upsets in recent memory.
Okay, but he's also let other games slip away.
I feel like if McVay was here or even Shanahan, they would find ways to get Doxson the ball more.
That might be true. Maybe you're right. Maybe they would have more of an emphasis.
It seems like the only time they get him the ball is in a tight spot down the sideline.
Well,
he runs go routes.
Yeah, I mean,
or when the whole country knows they might throw to him.
I feel like if those guys were here, they could find ways to get him the ball in open spaces across the middle. I don't know. It's just my opinion.
Well, you might be right. I mean, Jay,
maybe he just doesn't run those routes right.
I'll say
I have
this.
no idea.
Jay has responded in the last few weeks to giving him a lot more snaps. He's in there a lot more. A lot of it falls on the quarterback. The quarterback actually has to look his way, and maybe he's just not. I mean, when he's in on 89% of the snaps, at some point, on the quarterback.
It's a combination of the play calling, the trust, the quarterback.
Well, also injuries. When your line can only hold up for a second and a half, the longer developing stuff that Josh is going to excel at is not going to be there.
No,
they've only had one game this
a big
year
part of it.
With the wide receivers getting like 7 or 8 targets and going for over 100, and that was Crowder's game a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and
they
Crowder's
haven't had it from Pryor. They haven't had it from Doxson. And so I think it's a combination because Doxson clearly is talented. That's why they drafted him in the first round, and you've seen flashes. But they don't trust him enough to run like all of the routes. They trust Ryan Grant. You said he was in on over 90% of the snaps. Ryan Grant runs all kinds of routes for him.
He plays
in
all
different
the positions.
They see him as versatile. I don't think they see Doxson yet as a versatile receiver.
Yeah, I would love to get those offensive coaches,
have beer with him
at a bar and just say, why don't you play him more? And to get the real story on that.
Well, he is playing more. Now, again, I said this the other day. So I'm at Tyson's Beer Garden, and it's weird because I do post-game stuff on NBC Sports Washington, do Redskins Overtime. And so at some point, I can't watch the whole game at the bar. I just can't. So I drive home, and I miss part of it. And just listening to the radio in that little period of time after I watched 3 series at Tyson's Beer Garden, then I drove home.
Mm-hmm.
Cooley was saying that Doxson wasn't beating the jams.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
Okay, all right. But that would be a valid reason why
I used to pay for the film and everything.
All 22.
He's got to be more physical.
I just got lazy. Although I miss the 30-minute recaps. Like, you can watch any game in under 30 minutes. It's unreal. So, I would watch, 3 Vikings games in an hour and a half. I'd just sit here and watch it. I should buy it.
It's a smart thing. NBC Sports Washington does that now with Wizards and Caps.
Yeah, I've seen that in
They'll
the morning.
just have Caps in 30, Wizards in 30.
They might have.
It's a nice move.
Yeah. They might have done that with the Redskins. I think I saw the Redskins game that way. I thought it was NBC Sports Washington. I may be wrong. All right, let's make out these calls. Want to get your grades, okay? We graded them. What's your grades for the offense? What's your grade for the defense? What's your grade for the special teams? What's your grade for the coaching staff? 800-636-1067. All right, let's start out. Let's go to Mo in Largo. Mo, what's up, buddy?
My man, Mo.
Good morning. Good morning, fellas. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
What's up?
I'll start off with defense. I'll give defense a B. Offensively, I'll give us a D. Coaching, I'll give us a B. I would like to see more creativity with the offensive scheming with regards to getting the ball into Dotson's hands or maybe using Pryor in other facets of the game, maybe jet sweep, sort of option pass or something like that. Just little wrinkles in the defense to keep the linebackers honest and maybe stabilized so we can get some play action over the top. So I would like to see more creativity. Overall, though, I'll give the team a C. I mean, they're average. We're 4-4. So,
exactly.
I really can't go too much higher than that. We really don't need to go too much lower than that. But I think as the injuries, kind of heal up a little bit, I think we might get a better glimpse at the true potential of this team. But they're moving in the right direction, but there's still a lot of headway to be made.
So you give the team a C, but the coaching a B. See, I can't do that. I'm going to have the coach as a C because I actually think they're a pretty talented team. I understand there have been injuries the last couple weeks.
Banged up.
They're more talented than a lot of teams, and they're banged up. To me, being banged up is not all equal. They're not banged up at quarterback. They're not banged up at receiver, running back.
Well, I do think at some point, though, the cumulative injuries
I
have
agree.
taken their toll.
But again, it's the last couple weeks.
This team,
And they're not banged up. Did you just say that?
The last couple of weeks,
All right.
yes.
Well, they were without arguably their best receiver and their best tight end last
that
week.
could be
That's fair.
30% of the grade. Listen, if they're healthy for these last 2-3 weeks, they could have an extra win or two, and then that would totally change your grade.
Possibly, but I just...
This team that played the Raiders, I'm telling you, is one. That's guaranteed. But we don't have that
the
team.
way they played, yeah.
And I think if they were healthy,
there's no saying they're going to play like that every week.
well,
with
I'm
those
pretty
guys.
sure Zach Brown healthy is going to play that way every week. I'm pretty sure Josh Norman healthy is going to play that way every week. You know what I mean?
But they were healthy against the Eagles both times, and they got worked.
The Eagles game, they had within one possession in the first one, right, when they threw the tragic pick six.
Yep.